Hey everyone, welcome back. I just want to give a heads up that the RX0 Ice River Overclock firmware has been released by PbFarmer. If you go to the GitHub, he has released it about 15 hours ago, and the base model is so far going for 260 gigahash, and with the overclocks that I've seen, we can reach up to almost double this amount, like 440, 455. With, of course, overclocking does do increased watt usage, so that's why we need to also do all the modifications as well. I do have videos about that where we need to take off the face plates, do the thermal paste, do the copper heat sinks inside, and include an additional shroud and fan to make sure that the barrel gets cooled down and that it doesn't get too hot. And if we go read through this here, it's always important to read through the whole information, because there has been, similar known issues before. Like, I got this one where during the browser it would just get an error saying ASIC request failed. I've gotten a failed update with the firmware before, and there's just known issues with every other firmware with PbFarmer. So it's at your own risk, and it shows you how to do the different info here with like cooling, tuning, installing. And what we want to do is go to the releases on this side here, and there was a warning that he put out with the firmware where early testers had a flash chip corruption to their RX0 where it became non-functional, and this is believed to be something external, because he says that he doesn't do anything with the outside flashing, and he doesn't alter the firmware upload process, so it must be something else. So just be careful, because it does require, if you do run into this, it does require re-imaging of the flash chip, and it can be expensive to redo that. So again, he says to use at your own risk, and if you still want to do the overclocking, you would just download the firmware, and then you would just upload. It's not any different from like the AL0 or the other Ice Rivers. They have the same UI essentially, where once you go in, I already have mine upgrade, because you can see the PbFarmer, but you would just go under firmware, and then you would upload your RX0. Make sure you don't upload any other version that's not related to your ASIC, because you can mess that up in brick as well. If we're going through and reading the document, it's similar to how the other overclocks are. There's no failsafe or guard safe with these. So what we want to do is do it in increments of around 25 megahertz per overclock. So you can just do like starting 25, and after keeps going after like 10 minutes or so, because overclocking does take time, and every RX0 is different. They're not going to be all the same, so my overclocks are not going to be the same for yours. And I'm had a first issue when I did the firmware. The voltage would just drop dramatically and go back to be under voltage for some odd reason, and this was even just doing no overclocks and just doing the base settings, and it would still be undervolted. So I had to restart and flash PbFarmers, and now it's slowly ramping up. Right now it's at 280 because I'm in the process of doing my overclocks. So far I started, just at a 4% increase, and it's already above, the normal max, which is around, again, like 260. So it's slowly ramping up, and now that it looks good and there's no drop in hash rate, because it should be a 1-to-1 match, where if you see this 4%, it should match around your hash rate currently for both like the 5-minute and 30-minute, and then you would just go up towards 50. And if you see it not matching, then this is where you would increase the voltage offset so that it needs a little bit more voltage to help with the overclocks and going through the voltage. It says to do nearest multiples of 2, so we can slowly ramp it up if you do see just like a dramatic decrease in the hash rate. And I'm gonna play with this and see how far I can get it. And like I said, I've seen other people in the other YouTubers Discord where they got around 440, so I'm looking to do the same with a 230 watt power brick that I have to help support the overclocks, kind of like a mid-range, not like the crazy overclocks where you need like the 330 watt. That's not a laptop brick, but something else. And Greater Good Mining did a good video of which is the best to power these, so I recommend watching that one as well. But I'll see you guys back here and see what I can get with the overclocks. So I just want to show you the process that I've been doing by doing increments of the overclocking. It's been going on monitoring for about like 4 hours or so, but as you can see, every time you see a dip, that means that there wasn't enough voltage, and I needed to start increasing the voltage to make sure it's stable. And if it doesn't, then it just dips really hard and you lose hash rate. So I was playing around with it and kind of got where it was kind of stuck around the 300. There wasn't enough voltage for it to correlate with the percentage increase overclock, and once I got it to around 400, which I think will probably be the max for me with the 230 watt PSU power supply, I try to overclock it a bit more and it just crashed on me, so I'm gonna have to restart and go back and redo the configs where it stayed for a bit at the 400 range, and that's probably the 80% limit with these power supply that I have, and probably can go a bit more for the people that do like the 6-pin GPU with like the veteran miners barrel plug. You just want to be careful and make sure it's really cooled, otherwise this can burn the actual connector from the KS0, so you just got to be careful with having sufficient heat, because this does pull in a lot of heat where it will burn the plastic and connector around it, and you'll have to desolder the connector, what I had to do previously on my KS0 Pro, and there was enough cooling for it and it got too hot and it burned. So there's that option, or there's other options. If you go in the Discord, you'll find other people doing different types of connectors that they're able to do. You just have to do your research, but I'm gonna go ahead and restart it here, and then we are gonna get this going here to get back so it can start hashing away. So we are again back on the RX0. It is currently mining away here, and right now it's going for approximately around 428. This will probably go down a bit based on the temperatures here, and kind of will stable out. But if we go through the efficiency here, it's close to double the amount of the overclock, which is about like half increase of the amount. And if we look at the, let me just refresh it just in case. If we look at based on the electricity costs, it's probably different based on where you're at. But for me, the RX0 at 260 gigahash is earning approximately, I know it's a bit sad, but earning about 88 cents per day with an efficiency of only being about 46 cents per kilowatt hour. And with the overclocks, it would not double per se, maybe a bit less, so maybe like $1.20, $1.30 approximately per day, because the coin for Radiant I don't think has been improving, but I do know that the current Ice River manufacturer hasn't put this back on stock. It's currently sold out. So your best option if you were to purchase this is to do the approved online third-party browsers that I know of, like Crypto Miner Bros, Apexdo. You can try out these other ones I'm not sure of, but I would just do your research before you order from all these other ones before purchasing. But looks like approximately the payback time will be about a year and 3 months for this one. It's crazy because before this got released, it was estimated to make $12 a day, but once everyone started purchasing these, and then there's also the Dragon Ball, it's a manufacturer name that also competed with Ice River for mining Radiant. It's a more beefier ASIC miner. It's competing as well with the Ice River, but if we look here, this one, the Dragon Ball miner A11, it's a more beefier one. It's currently approximately doing, based after electricity, it's making $8.24. So that's probably the reason for the differences with the amount of difficulty and hash rate that people jumped on for this. But yeah, I'm glad that we finally got a overclock from PbFarmer. I know he worked hard and make sure that it's safe for us to test and run. And again, just make sure to do at your own risk, because this is a firmware that's not supported or agreed by Ice River, and you do have to do mods to the Ice River little ASIC home miners in order to do the overclocking, and I did do that in my KS0 Ultra video if you want to take a look at. And yeah, I'm happy with the results for now. And let me know if you're going to be doing the overclocks or not. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in another video. See ya.